56,000 Bitcoin bought in a single month from one company at a pace the market can't replace, because right now supply isn't just shrinking, it is being removed. And when that happens, price doesn't move normally. Before we go any further, look at this. Institutions now control over 14% of all Bitcoin. That was 8% in 2024. So it has nearly doubled, and it's accelerating. This isn't buying, it's removal. And once it's gone, it does not come back. Michael Saylor just accelerated the end game. 56,235 Bitcoin in April. Let that sink in. 56,235 Bitcoin. That's a pace of 675,000 Bitcoin per year from one company. One buyer, one strategy. They're accelerating, absorbing the supply, not slowing down. This isn't a trade. It's a programmatic acquisition of the scarcest asset on earth. So here's what just happened. Strategy added another 3,273 BTC this week alone, announced today alongside their filing with the SEC. They now hold 818,334 Bitcoin, worth over $61 billion, and still buying every single week. Not trading, not flipping, not hedging, but accumulating at a pace the market physically cannot replace. We all know there's only 450 Bitcoin being rewarded to the miners each and every day. So if every miner on earth doubled production, still wouldn't be enough. But this isn't just about Saylor anymore, because at the same exact time, BlackRock is doing the same thing. Their clients just bought $732 million worth of Bitcoin last week with inflows each and every day. Total holdings now, $62.7 billion and rising week after week. Bid after bid, no distribution, only absorption, no exit liquidity, no rotation, just accumulation. So step back for a second and look at this clearly. Two entities, Saylor's strategy and BlackRock's ETF machine, together controlling over 1.6 million Bitcoin, competing for the same shrinking supply. And that number is increasing every single week. Out of the total supply of 21 million, and millions of those coins already gone forever, either lost, destroyed, or just not coming back, which means the real supply isn't 21 million. It's whatever is left that someone is actually willing to sell. Now layer this on top of the spot Bitcoin ETFs now holding over 1.3 million Bitcoin. Total institutional ETF and corporate ownership, that's 14+% of the entire supply. That number has nearly doubled in the past couple of years and accelerating fast from 8% to 14% in under 2 years. That's not growth. That's a takeover of the hardest monetary asset ever created. This is the part most people miss. Bitcoin isn't being bought. It is being removed, pulled off the market, and once it's locked, it becomes effectively removed from circulation, and it doesn't come back. Locked into the balance sheets, locked into the ETFs, and locked into the long-term storage, which means the supply you think exists doesn't actually exist because it's not available, and that changes everything, because markets don't move based on total supply, they move based on available supply. And that available supply is collapsing quietly, relentlessly, and irreversibly, not because of the hype, but because of the structure. Now ask yourself this: what happens when demand keeps increasing, but supply keeps disappearing? Not slowly, not gradually, violently, because there's no mechanism left to balance the market. No natural seller, no equilibrium, because price doesn't need everyone to buy. It only needs a few buyers to compete over what's left. And right now, there's less and less left every single day. And the buyers stepping in now aren't price sensitive. They're allocation driven, mandate driven, time horizon, decades. Saylor's buying, BlackRock's buying, institutions allocating, and the long-term hodlers not selling. This is no longer a cycle. It's a structural shift from a liquid market to a controlled supply asset, where a small number of entities dictate the availability. Even Saylor said it himself. If the US doesn't start stacking Bitcoin, they'll be forced to buy it back later at $50 million per coin, because by then there won't be a market, only bids competing for whatever the supply still surfaces. That sounds insane in the membrane until you look at the numbers. Supply is being removed at scale, at speed, by entities with billions, with access to effectively unlimited capital backed by money that can be printed on demand. And the people waiting for the dip, they're waiting for sellers in a market where sellers are disappearing, because once supply is gone, price discovery becomes price escalation. So the real question isn't, is Bitcoin going higher? The real question is, when there's almost nothing left to buy, what price are people forced to bid to get access?